Hi, my name is Volker Bruns, and in this video I would like to give you a brief orientation into MIKAIA. So the first thing that you would normally like to do is point MIKAIA to the folder that contains your data set, from your current study that you would like to work with, or it could be multiple folders. They can be local folders or on a network share. And then MIKAIA will scan them recursively, show you all the scans that it has discovered here, either in this album view or in the table view here that contains a few more details on each slide. You can filter here by typing in a name, or filter by type, so bright field only, fluorescence only, with or without annotations, and so on. Okay, so notice how I have the auto hide option enabled. So now if I open an image by double clicking, it will automatically collapse the workspace panel. So here on the top right, these four buttons, they will open the various side panels. So I recommend you always have the classes, the annotation classes panel open. I think this is important. So let's briefly look at the annotation system. So here on the left-hand side, you have your various annotation tools. So if I now just start drawing a new annotation, you can see how it automatically created a first annotation class here in our classes list. We can add further classes, give them meaningful names, and then if we add new annotations using any of these tools, you can see how they always will be added to the class that's currently selected. Okay. By clicking here on this color bar next to a class, you can change the class's appearance. So you can change the outline color, set a fill color, change the opacity, and so on. I think this should be quite straightforward. The annotation system in MIKAIA is quite powerful, so it can cope with thousands of annotations, even hundreds of thousands of annotations. When you select an annotation here, the center handle always lets you move the annotation around. And then here, this annotation here is of type polygon. So this means here we can also change the shape afterwards. This here is a path annotation that we've created with the brush. So this one here, in contrast to a polygon, can have holes. And yeah, so on and so forth. This is a margin annotation. What's also important here is these actions, they let you do tons of other stuff, advanced functionality related to annotation. So you can clip shapes, subtract them, fuse them, intersect them. We can add margins to an annotation. Do this quickly here, 3 margins, 100 microns each. Like this, one inwards, 2 outwards. Yeah, now here on the right-hand side, now you can see how annotation classes can also be grouped. So by this way, we can toggle an entire group on and off. All right, yeah. But let's delete these again and now look at the image analysis functionality. So we open the analysis sidebar. And here what we do is we work top to bottom. So at first we click on this drop-down menu that opens up the MIKAIA App Center with all the apps that are available. And you can filter them, apps that are available for fluorescence or for bright field, for IHC, and so on. And again, just type in names. So we just use the mask by color app here as an example. So we've selected the app. And so the next step here is to look at the configuration. So this content here looks different for each app because these are app-specific parameters. So for instance, here, this app, what it does, it just looks at the pixels and at their colors and then lets you create masks. So here we do it based on the stain. This is an IHC stain, so I'm going to switch to HDUB, and then I want to mask the DUB part. And here I have the sensitivity. I don't know. We'll just give it a try with 3. And resolution, maybe this one. Okay. but I don't want to go into the details here of these parameters. Now you can see already for some of the apps we have quite a few parameters. This is important so that they are very widely applicable. It might be overwhelming, I understand, but here as a hint, all the settings they have tooltips, and then here there's a user manual where also these parameters are all explained, and then plus you can check in the MIKAIA University website for app notes that are available in video tutorials for the particular apps. Okay. Yeah, so in this section here, this is the same regardless of which app is used. On the top part here in the batch analysis, this is now disabled because we don't have a batch enabled or batch selected. We'll skip over this for now. And here in the second part, I recommend you have this enabled export results. This means that after the analysis, MIKAIA will automatically save the results into a folder, into a subfolder here of this one. That means it will generate a spreadsheet with all the quantitative results specific to this app that will create 2 JPEG files, one with and one without burnt in markups, that let you later quickly look at the results. Of course, the annotation file, also the parameters that were used are saved so that you later can still figure out what settings you use to get those particular results and so on. Okay. And then importantly here, these buttons here, they kick off the analysis. So we have multiple options. We can analyze a region of interest. Let's say I want to analyze only this part and maybe this part. So I'll select them both. And now if I click region of interest, you can see how it masked now only within these regions. Right, this is the mask that they have created. And you can already see now in the results section here, this again looks different for each app. So here typically the app shows some diagrams, shows a table with the results and so on. And again, here you can manually export the results to the hard drive, which you don't need to if this export results option here is enabled. So this was the analyze region of interest option. The field of view means it will just analyze whatever is currently visible in the viewer. So let's do it like this, the field of view. And now if I zoom out, you can see that it now just analyzed this region that was visible. This history button, by the way, is now handy because now if I want to analyze the same region again, let's say with different settings, I can click this button and then it will just analyze the same region as before. Yeah, and then obviously the analyze slide button will analyze the entire slide. Yeah, and if I want to do a batch analysis, what I do is I select multiple slides here. So let's say this one and this one. So now I have 2 slides selected. And now you can see how how the regular analysis buttons are hidden and replaced by this batch button, showing 2, meaning the 2 slides will be analyzed. I could choose to first create a region of interest class in each slide, and then only those annotations from that class will be analyzed, or the entire slide. So let's do this. And now click batch. And now you can see here, it now analyzes the first slide and now the second slide. And this is how the results look on my hard drive. So I have my spreadsheet for each slide individually. This is the CSV file with all the numbers for the entire batch all in one. I have my config parameters, the shortcuts to the slides, the annotation files, and so on. Okay, and here in the queue, you can now see, so these first analyses here in the queue were the ones that we've triggered individually, and then here in the end, these 2 were the batch analysis that I've done. Okay, yeah, I think this is the most important or the most essential things you need to know. Of course, there are a lot more details to learn. As mentioned, check out the manual. Hopefully this will help you, as well as the MIKAIA University available here from MIKAIA.ai, which contains lots of app notes and other video tutorials. All right, thank you.